I'm sitting here with Dick Greensides, who's been a part of Friendship for years and years and years. Dick, how did you get started in the stock business and coming down here?
Well, I came down here before I was in the stock business because I like to shoot. And I'd come down with the wife and the kids, and they'd stay over at my brother-in-law's while I came over and shot. And then my oldest boy would come with me, and we did that for a few years, and eventually I started building my own guns. Well, I needed a stock, so I wanted to buy a pre-carved stock. Well, I ordered one, and 6 months later it still hadn't come, and the guy couldn't produce it, so I made a pattern, and there was a wood carver in town that carved furniture parts, so I had him make 24 stocks, which was the full spindles on the machine. And had friends that bought most of them, had a few left over, and we made a pistol the same way. And in order to get rid of the excess, we came down to Friendship in a pickup truck and sold the stock that we had.
Okay.
And we got rid of those. So the next year we made different ones. Yeah.
Okay.
So it just got started by accident, more or less.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the first year you were down?
Well, I'm not sure exactly, but I probably came down to shoot early in the 1960s.
Okay.
And then had the stocks probably early 70s.
Okay.
We started out with making stocks.
Yeah. Now, obviously, it's driven by a hobby at that point.
Yes, it was.
When did it turn into a major business like this?
Well, it was never really a major business. I mean, it just sort of evolved. If we made any money, we'd buy another machine, or had full-time jobs anyway, so didn't need the business to live on. But we bought a stock carving machine. It became available, and then we rented space to put the machine in. And we had table saws, and we had this all in my basement.
Okay.
And I had a basement in the garage, or in the lower level, and then another garage upstairs. So the lower level one we used for the shop to make the muzzleloaders. And we made stocks in there up until the early 90s. Wife was really glad to see it leave when we.
So you eventually moved into a building of its own then?
Yeah, I bought a small farm. We had rented space in this farm to store our wood, and that's where our carving machine was. And so we moved everything out to the shop out about 10 miles away out in the country, and had all the parts and pieces out there.
Okay.
And it got rid of a lot of dust in the house. And just made it much handier.
Wife's much happier.
Yeah.
Okay. Your supply of wood. Do you buy wood from guys down here, or do you buy wood from local people?
Well, the wood, we buy some from locals. We buy walnut and cherry mostly from the local people.
Okay.
We buy some wood. People bring me wood down at Friendship, and I take it home. We buy that. But the major supplier comes from northern Michigan.
Okay.
And he brings wood to me 3 to 4 times a year now, about 3 to 350 each time.
Okay.
And it's the best wood. That's all curly maple.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say the walnut and cherry we get local.
Do you get it already bandsawed into blanks, or do you do that yourself?
No, it's bandsawed into blanks, but it's not dry.
Okay.
It's bandsawed into blanks, and the ends are treated so to slow the drying down on the ends. And then when we receive it, if it hasn't been setting for 4 to 6 months, we stack it and let it set for at least 8 months and let it air dry, and then we put it in the kiln and dry it for another 6 weeks.
So you can dry it down pretty much whatever percent you decide you want to do it.
Yes, it's dried mostly at about 7%. And then in the winter time, it'll maybe dry a little bit more, but in the spring and summer, it'll pick up moisture and go up to maybe 9% or so.
Basically, then, go ahead.
You still sometimes get some cracking in the ends. In the winter time, when the heat's on and everything is dry, occasionally you get one of the cracks in the end. I
was just thinking, with stocks that you have down here, if by the time you bring them down here, they've gone through all that kind of a process. If they needed to set a while in season, why you do that before they ever come here, probably.
Well, most of them have been through a season or two, a season, the winter season, the spring season, or whatever, and they've picked up moisture and they've dried some, and so they're pretty stable before we ever sell them.
That's good. I noticed kits. Well, maybe kits is the wrong word, but barrels and other pieces, locks. So a guy can really come to you and buy the wood and buy the barrel and buy the lock, and pretty much walk away with what he needs to build a gun.
You can. We have all the parts to build a gun, or you can buy just the stock, just the barrel, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We sell lots of parts, and we sell the whole kit. But don't sell too many whole kits. It seems like always somebody they either have a lock or they have a barrel or they have some parts, and we furnish the rest of the parts to finish up the whole.
I'm guessing that you have relationships then with guys down here that you can buy locks and barrels from. I saw Green Mountain there, for instance.
Yeah, we buy mostly Green Mountain barrels, and we buy some Getz barrels and some Rice barrels, Swamp barrels. Okay. They all do a good job, and the barrels are good.
Sure.
So we don't have many complaints.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the most fun thing you do? What do you like the best?
Well, it's fun to go to the different shoots, but it takes time.
Mm-hmm.
And we go to Friendship twice, and we go to the Kalamazoo Yankee Doodle Dandy show in March.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it just takes too much time to go. By the time you load all the stocks and the barrels, the time you've lost, you're not making anything. So, but it's fun just talking to the people, and the people are all friendly. So it just works out well.
You mentioned at the beginning making some rifles of your own. Do you still make rifles? Or are you too busy?
I haven't made one I've got one started, but I just haven't got it done for 2 years now. Seems like don't find time.
Mm-hmm.
It takes. I do the paperwork, and my son works for me, and another fellow works for me, and they do most of the machine work, and I take care of the paperwork, and I have a daughter that ships the boxes out, and another daughter that does the computer work. So
sure, and
they do it all just part time. So,
well, I noticed you said something about doing machine work. Last March, I bought a Vincent, Ohio parts from you, and I asked to have the barrel breached and the sight dovetails done, and you guys did that for me. So I assume that milling in that case, you'll do those kind of things for a guy who doesn't have metalworking stuff of his own.
Sure, we breach barrels, we cut the sight dovetails, we'll install the underlugs, we can fasten the rib on and solder the thimbles on, but that's about as far as we go as building the gun.
That's just about what you did for me too.
Yeah, that's about all we can do. It takes too much time to do it otherwise, and we only have 2 employees really. So.
Well, I know. For instance, when it comes to filing a dovetail, that yours look a whole lot better than mine. So
it's a lot easier to do them if you have the right tools.
Yeah. So anyway, I enjoyed being able to do that with you. I like walking through a place like yours and looking at the grades of maple that I see. For instance, I really enjoy looking at a really nice piece of curly maple. But you do other stuff besides maple too. You mentioned walnut and cherry.
We do walnut and cherry, and we have some ash. We do some curly ash. Not that much ash, but
is curly ash a hard wood to find?
Curly ash is real hard. It's harder to find, and now it's getting harder yet because of the emerald ash borer that's killing the trees. I know it's come into Illinois now. They're trying to eradicate it, but it won't. And it's been in Michigan, and so ash is going to be very difficult to obtain for long.
I remember one of the first really outstanding ash stocks I saw at a shoot was curly ash, and it's very different. Really caught your eye, and I liked it. But never made anything with that.
I've got a curly ash Hawkins stock. It's really a beautiful piece of wood, and that's my own gun, and I use that to hunt with.
Neat.
That's my favorite gun, really.
Okay. One thing I always like to ask guys is, do you have a future project coming up that you're looking forward to or that you like people to know about?
Well, we're always trying to find something new to make. I don't know what it would be this year, but we find something. We made a blunderbuss kit last year, and we came out with a Harper's Ferry kit last year.
Okay.
This year, I don't know what we'll find, but it's always interesting to get something new.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because some of the old ones sort of die out.
I'm guessing that in some cases or some ways, demand or production follows demand. I remember years ago when everybody had to have take a trade gun and make a blanket gun out of it, and I remember seeing blanket gun stocks on your shelves.
We did have them. We do have a few left, but I don't even bring them to shoots anymore.
Yeah, it goes in and out of style, doesn't it?
Yeah, I sell maybe 3, 4, 5 a year is all.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was unique that you come down and you see that kind of thing all over, and then 2 years later you wouldn't see it anymore.
Yeah, it's done. Everybody's got one that wants one, I guess.
I guess.
Yeah.
Blunderbusses, are they in that same category as a blanket gun, or do you think that's a longer trending?
Well, I think the blunderbusses it's sort of a small market. They're more of a novelty gun.
Sure.
They'll shoot and they'll work, but they're just for self-pleasure, I guess.
Okay.
And we don't sell that many of them, but they are kind of cute
Kind
and
of
you get
fun.
them built. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a segment of your customers that probably always want something that's unique.
Mm-hmm. Some people want something that's different, and it's good to show, and they don't shoot it that much, but it's just something that's nice to have.
Okay. Also notice pistol stocks. Do you guys do a lot of pistol stocks compared to rifles? Or?
We make a Kentucky pistol stock, which is the biggest seller,
Mm-hmm.
and then we make a dueler stock, which has a smaller handle, which was meant to fit in cases for dueling pistols. That's just a novelty pistol, more or less. And then we make a big channel pistol for trapper pistol, we call it, for 54 caliber, 50 caliber, that some of the mountain men rendezvous use.
Okay. Yeah.
But the Kentucky pistol is the main one. It's got a comfortable handle,
Mm-hmm.
and you can shoot it. Some shoot it for target.
Okay.
Makes a good-looking pistol.
Yeah. Also saw some inline parts. Looked like it might have been for a target pistol.
We have an inline action that we buy from a fellow, and we make a stock for that. It's at one time we did sell quite a few, but now the inlines you can buy a whole gun for the price of what our action is now.
Okay.
And so we don't sell that many anymore.
Saw a lot of locks, so I figure you guys can sell locks about every kind that's available down here.
Yeah, we inlet our stocks for different locks, and we also sell the locks to fit the inlet. But we sell Siler, L&R, Chambers locks, and Davis locks.
Yeah.
And
that pretty much hit the 4 biggies right there. I suppose.
That's about it. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Do you guys, since we're talking about doing milling a little bit ago, do you guys put in touch hole liners? Do you advocate
No, we
touch hole
don't.
liners?
Touch hole liners really can't be put in properly until the gun is all completed. You get the barrel in, the stock in, the lock in.
Go by the pan to do that kind of thing.
You need to line it up with the pan and put that in. So we don't put touch hole liners in unless once in a while maybe somebody will bring one in and we'll drill it for him.
I'm guessing that the people that are starting from scratch, they're not thinking about touch holes installed right now anyway.
No, they can wait until they're done, and then it's not a difficult job to put one in.
Yeah.
So most people do that themselves, or have a friend that's handy do it or something.
Yeah. That's not as maybe as demanding a thing as far as machinery,
No,
drill press and
you can line it up and drill a hole with a hand drill and tap it for the touch hole liner.
Sure. Is there anything that you want to talk about that I was not dumb or I was not smart enough to ask you?
Well, not that I know of.